Hello, everyone. Terrence here with Hollywood Already Did It, and this morning I watched the new film from Apple TV, Greyhound, starring Tom Hanks, and I'll give you my thoughts right after the jump. Real quick, if you haven't already, go ahead, like, share, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell below. Anytime we have something, you will be one of the first to know about it. Now, let's dive in. Pun intended. So, Greyhound is one of the few films that was directly affected by the COVID 19 theater closures because this is a movie that needs to be seen or desires to be seen on a big screen. It's a big war film, World War II epic, if you will. I'll use that in quotes because we'll talk about the runtime in a little bit. But it is a World War II epic where Tom Hanks stars as commander of a destroyer convoy that is a destroyer that is the lead of a convoy that is helping people get from one point of a body of water to another point in the body of water without being flanked or hunted. And it's about this period of time of a general doing. It's based on a book by called The Good Shepherd by C.S. Forrester, and it is written by Tom Hanks. Screenplay wise, it is written by Tom Hanks. That is useful because that kind of tells you why the one thing that I think this movie is lacking is a kind of purposeful thread story wise. I think the beats as far as the action stuff is all there. This is a beautiful movie. It is shot well. It allows you to get into the intensity of the action that is happening. It feels claustrophobic at times, almost like you're in a submarine film as opposed to an open boat world. But all of that stuff works. What is lacking though is some character development, and I think when you're based on a book that's 300 and some odd pages, to condense that into an 88-minute film, you're going to lose a lot of the character study that I think is needed. And so what this movie relies on is Tom Hanks being the charismatic person that he is to sort of naturally get that character, those character beats or that character moments or that heart. But anytime, and this sucked because I'm not a war film person. I think a lot of those war films are super long, but I also don't think you can make a war film that's an hour and a half and expect to kind of get the point across of what you're trying to do on the heart side. With that said, I do like the fact that it's only 88 minutes. If you're expecting one of those, let me get into the mind of the soldiers or the commanders or the chiefs and all that stuff, this isn't the film for you. But if you're trying to just go in and watch an 88-minute, let me see specific points in the day slash night of how we got from point A to point B and do it in a like viscerally entertaining and awe-inspiring way, then I think this is the way to do it. You do want to crank up the volume on your TV. You want to have your surround sound going because that's the way that this is intended to be. I think this movie loses a little bit of the extra steam that it would get in Goodwill being watched on televisions at home. I think that's a does the movie a bit of a disservice. I think one of the things that this movie does not do, and it's a weird thing because when you have movies like Pearl Harbor or whatnot, they take some liberties and they'll create characters and they'll do this and that, but it's still done within history. This movie, for the most part, is talking about a person that actually existed, and so or an era that actually existed, and so I feel like the character of Curse, which I'm not sure if in The Good Shepherd that's the same name, but I feel like this character or this person I should have more information about him when this movie is over. And I think because everything is so streamlined, everything is so quick, and like we're going to punch in and punch out and move on. I think this is the first war film that I've ever seen where I don't know really anything about this character outside of this being his first time at the helm as a commander, and this being and him doing a really as well as he can job in the moment. Outside of that, I don't really have a leg to stand on. I think when you do some of these historical things, I think the primary purpose is to give us knowledge about a person first, and the war stuff or the action scenes second, because we have so many war films in history that some of this stuff gets repetitive. And as gorgeous as it is, it gets repetitive after you do it over and over and over again. You do one in the night, you do one in the day, you do one with them right with the ships basically playing battleship side by next to each other. While it's all entertaining, and it's good that it's only 88 minutes, because if it was any longer, if we kept repeating that and kind of do a timestamp of this is where we are in the night and then move on to the next night, part of the day or night, it would gotten even older, quick. It would have gotten even older faster. But all in all, I think this is a quick, turn it on, get some popcorn, cut off your brain for a minute, and enjoy a solid action film that you don't really have to think much about. It doesn't cause you to kind of self-reflect or dive into a character. And I think that anytime a war film is only 88 minutes to 88 minutes without credits, you should probably check it out, because this might be the one way that you can watch a war film without it being a 2-hour epic. So on the scale of once is enough, play it again, Sam, or give me a time zone so I never have to think about this film again. Oddly enough, while I haven't been in high praise because of the character development, I'd say play this again, Sam, because you can literally just pop this on and it's over. And in a heartbeat. It's not something that you're struggling to watch, because I think the action beats are good. And there are some cool character moments with the cook, but we don't have enough time with them, or with all of these characters. They all just be some caricatures. They're like with the messenger, I don't know his name. There's the cook, who I do know his name because it's a specific point of the movie. But for the most part, these characters are just caricatures and just like placeholders. And I think I can play this again because it's just a brisk walk through a brisk run, if you will, sprint, if you will, through a streamlined war film that you don't really get. The interesting thing is, play it again, Sam, but the interesting thing is, for me, I did not have Apple TV before this film came out. This made me go sign up for a 7-day trial. So I would say play it again, Sam, now. But I'm probably not going to keep Apple TV after this, so I don't know how I could play it again, Sam, if I don't have access to it. So that's a little interesting, too. Is this a movie that you should invest in another of many streaming devices to do? I probably wouldn't, if that's what we're basically going. But if you just have access to Apple TV and you want to watch something, and Tom Hanks is doing, the thing that Tom Hanks does, no matter what, he's going to sell a movie and be charismatic at it. Sure. Give it a shot. Play it again. But those are my thoughts. Go ahead and leave your comments in the comments below. Let me know what you guys thought about Greyhound, if you've seen it. If you want, you can hit us up on Twitter at HollywoodADI. You can drop us an email at HollywoodAlreadyDidIt@gmail.com. We also have a podcast with the same name that is on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that plays podcasts. We're there. This current episode that's going up this week will be about The Old Guard and the adaptation between that and film. But that is it. Thank you guys so much, and everyone be well and stay safe. Thanks, guys.